Yes, the name of the quilt is called Peggy Sue, and where it came from was initially there was a husband and wife challenge that came from Janice Gunner and Maggie Ralph of the African Fabric Shop. And the idea was that there was a certain fabric which was just pegs, and the pegs are a light blue, a maroon and a yellow, and they're about 6 inches long, the three, then they're repeated, and just so on, so on, so on. And the challenge was that every quilt that was made had to have a title that was related to pegs in some way. Now, me being a man, I heard about this and I thought that the object of the actual challenge was man has idea, lady makes quilt. So I thought that's simple. So I had this idea, and I saw Maggie Ralph one day at a knitting and stitching show, and I said, Maggie, I've got a great name for your challenge. And I said, it's Peggy Sue. So she said, okay, off you go, you make it, which obviously was a bit of a shock to me. The reason I chose Peggy Sue was because I hate sunbonnet Sue, and because of this has got one piece of sunbonnet Sue, I decided that the idea was that with the pegs I could change the bonnets of the subject into pegs, so that then they would have these pegs that were actually talking to the centre line from either side in this triptych. And then at the bottom I decided that I could have, if you knew Peggy Sue, then you'd know why I would feel blue. And although you probably can't see it, the fabric here has actually got sunbonnet Sues on it, and I decided also to put a couple of little sunbonnets within the pattern, well, within the stitching, just to sort of make it a little bit not as boring as it could be. It was quite successful. People did pass comment on the fact that they liked the way the pegs were talking to one another. It was on display at the Uttoxeter Quilt Show, and I think it may have been to a couple of others, but basically Maggie took all the quilts and put them on show when she was actually going around with her fabric shop. And also it was on display a few years ago with the London Quilters exhibition here at the Swiss Cottage Library, where it got a few little comments whereby we always have what visitors' choice, and this was chosen by the visitors' choice for quite a few, mainly because it's quirky, and also there are many other quilters that do hate sunbonnet Sue, so that's the reason. The panels, it was made actually in 3 panels, and each panel has then got a very small inserted fold in it that goes right the way across the quilt, and then it's obviously made as a triptych. And this fabric is actually the same fabric as the pegs.